Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about tantric sex and vital sex, and the topic for this video is sensual dominance. Is it for you? So what I mean by that is that adding a little bit of control, a little bit of dominance or directive power to your sex life can be really interesting. We're starting to tap a little bit here in the shadows, because what I'm saying here can be interpreted in different ways. We are not talking about being disrespectful in any way or being pushy or demanding with somebody. We're talking about adding a certain degree of power and presence that might bring a certain erotic quality to your exchange. And it needs to be safe, of course, not crossing a line and becoming disrespectful in any way. It must be based on something, on the quality of trust. And to give an example, I'm just going to take that one. Imagine that you are a woman, and you have this man who asks you on a date, and he will say things like, so where do you want to go? Would you rather go and eat over here or there? And what do you prefer? And would you rather, I'll let you decide. A guy will behave like that. Or a guy will say, I'll pick you up at 8. I know this really good place is a surprise, it's my treat. Of those two versions, the guy who is insecure, doesn't know how to lead and doesn't know how to say, he doesn't have a clear picture, he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, you know, is that sexy to you, or is it more sexy when a guy takes the initiative and is a bit directive? I pick you up at 8 and it's a surprise. So when a man knows how to take control and direction, very often that's going to add a certain erotic edge that is interesting for you as a woman. And the thing is that it works also the other way around. When it comes to male, female, masculine, feminine qualities, very often the dominant quality is a little bit more associated with the male quality, but it doesn't have to be that way. Personally, I don't like too much using the terms feminine and masculine. Oh, this is masculine, this is feminine, because we tend to create like this gender difference that I don't find necessarily serves us. I don't find that it's honoring the universal qualities that we have as men and women, and so it locks us a little bit. But if you feel that as a woman or as a man that it's your job as a man to be a bit more directive, dominant, to be holding a little bit more control and direction in the relationship, and it's natural for the woman in that case to be a bit more led and a bit more submissive in the direction, that's okay if it's a model that works for you. I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. In many situations, I find that women taking the initiative and becoming the directive force can be extremely sexy. It's important for a man to be able to surrender also to this level of sensual dominance when it's expressed from a woman. And very often when I'm having tantra sessions with couples, and suddenly we give permission to the woman to take control, there is suddenly this fire, this raging power that unleashes itself, lots of joy, lots of empowerment coming through. So this idea of using sensual, sexual dominance as a quality, as something which becomes a little bit more more fiery and more empowering, is definitely something that you can bring into your sex life. There is a diagram which is called the wheel of consent, which is used a lot in the tantric sex circles. And in this wheel of consent, you have different qualities that you can express. One of them is being the giver and being the receiver, and another one being the taker. And if you are the taker, your partner is going to become the allower. And so when you're the taker and you express a high level of sexual intention and what I call sensual or sexual dominance, then that can bring a quality which is interesting in your sex life. Those qualities, it's important to play with them in a way which is subtle, especially in the beginning. You don't just want to bring it full on into your partner, because if they are not used to these patterns, they might feel extremely uncomfortable by the force and the direction that you are projecting on them. Again, it's super important, if you start playing with this idea of sensual dominance, not to go not to go sidetracked with that. If you take that idea a little bit too far, then it you enter into patterns which can be disrespectful and dishonoring of your sex partner. So check with your partner, check with permissions, check with their boundaries, check what is okay and what is not. You need to be actively communicating with your partner. It's not just suddenly you projecting your own sexual agenda and desire on your partner, but adding a little bit of sexual play, sensual dominance in in the space of your sex life, from a place of honoring each other and clear respect of each other's boundaries, can be a very juicy, exciting experience.